Good morning. Apologies for the strange camera angle, but I'm trying to illustrate the fact that today I'm here at the Shard in London Bridge. I'm here for a roundtable on the future of marketing teams, which is sponsored by Hello Kindred. Now, as many marketers know, marketing teams have been under a lot of pressure recently. There have been a lot of layoffs across B2B, senior marketers and members of the kind of more rank and file team, as organisations are striving to find the right structure and adjust to kind of challenging circumstances and things like AI as well, and also economic tribulations. It's very interesting times. Our marketing leaders having to be creative in terms of how they deploy teams and individuals access the right skills and resources. So I'm really interested to hear from the marketers attending today. We've got a great selection of senior marketing leaders talking about some of the ways, the strategies they've deployed and some of the solutions they've addressed and some of the challenges they're seeing. So it should be a great conversation. It's going to be moderated by Shane Redding, who always provides lots of great insight. So let's go inside and hear what they've got to say. Thanks. I'm here with Amy Stankiste from LSEG. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Joel.
And we've just been at the Roundtable for Hello Kindred, talking about future marketing teams. Tell us about your marketing teams in terms of, because you've got your team, there's people all over the world, aren't there, right?
Yes.
It's a really dynamic, changing environment. Tell us a bit about that challenge.
Yeah, it's an ongoing challenge. Everything in the world is changing at speed. We are going through a lot of change and transformation at LSEG. We're a high growth organisation that is obviously shifting as the industry shifts, as our customer needs shift. So having a globally dispersed marketing team is very important in terms of being able to understand our customers in our different regions, but also thinking about the skill sets and the centres of excellence that we're trying to build in the team as well, and how all those different teams work together. So in a team of 100 people that are looking across many different kind of disciplines in marketing, it's helping those people come together to really understand how that machine is meant to work and what their part in that is, and helping them to grow and develop and understand all the different intricacies of the business.
And what that might be needing in 6 months' time as well, because what it needs now is evolving constantly. It's a moving target.
Yeah, we are looking at, obviously we're using AI, we're trying different use cases within AI as well, trying to help the teams upskill across AI and where that's going and where that's going to help augment and complement our skill sets and help take them away from some of the more manual processes and manual jobs and help them elevate to be more of the creativity, more of the strategic thinking as well. So we hope it's exciting because it's a fast moving journey. We're all just trying to keep up, but feel good.
Sounds good. Sounds like a work in progress and lots of hard work on it. So yes. Thanks, Amy.
No worries. Thank you.
So Graham Wylie, I'm here with now, who's a long-standing collaborator with B2B marketing and a CMO, marketing director, been involved with us over the years, and we're talking today about marketing team of the future, resources, and how you find the right structure and setup for you. Graham, you wrestled with some of that when you were at ADP recently, didn't you?
Yeah, so 7-8 years ago I came into ADP with a mandate to drive change. It was single country operations that needed to transform into a regional EMEA structure. That went quite well, so we then transformed into an international business doing everything outside of North America. And I was fortunate that the business was going through the change as well as marketing going through the change. And I think a successful restructure or redesign of the marketing organisation really has to align to the business outcome. And so finding an opportunity for me where I'm working with stakeholders who are already on that journey, and marketing is then redefining, well, this is what marketing will do. This is what's in, this is what's out. We're going to build a product marketing team because product's really important. We're going to build a pricing team because pricing's really important. And you have that opportunity when you're in an organisation going through change to really challenge preconceptions of what marketing is and then build capabilities and execution.
And does that help marketers perhaps at a lower tier of the marketing function to understand the connectivity to the business context? Because sometimes that's quite opaque to those individuals.
Yeah, we've talked about the commercial marketer on a number of occasions, and I think if you are a relatively junior marketer or you're new in the area, you're being asked to do a really hard job, which is do a part of marketing. And for the first 6 months in that job, that might be the only thing you look at. And you get really good at doing digital, really good at doing events. And then you've got to get your head up and go, right, how does this drive the rest of the business? Because now I understand what I'm being asked to do. How does that fit to the rest of the business? And then it's the CMO's job to start saying, right, how do these different skills fit together?
Yeah.
And how do I create cohesion across a team of specialists that we're now going to drive the overall performance of the business? But a lot of folks don't get visibility of that. So as a leader, you have to kind of go and talk to the executive committee or the board or the senior leadership team, whatever the stakeholder group you're working with, carry that commercial message back into the team, and then make sure there's a loop that says, this is what our team is doing, this is how it drives commercial value, this is why we have the remit we have, this is how we're structured as we are, here are the opportunities for growth and investment and development.
Communications and transparency at all times.
Yes, absolutely, both ways.
And I guess the $24,000 question, $64,000 question is, so what structure should we be building for the future? Is there an obvious answer to that, or does it really depend on what you've got?
Well, so the cliche answer would be the pendulum swings in the opposite direction. So if you're a very centralized organization, there'll be conversations about decentralization.
Right.
If you're a very decentralized organization, the pendulum will be swinging back. And once you understand that that's really how organizations work across their whole operation, then the most important skill is the diagnostic. Where are we starting? Where is this business today? It's incredibly decentralized, got lots of inefficiencies. The momentum is moving towards centralization. How does marketing capitalize on that? How does it deliver the proposition in that framework? How does it transform? If you're starting from an incredibly centralized organization that's struggling for speed of execution and localization and local flexibility, the pendulum's going to be swinging the other way. So there's no one right answer, but there is a set of diagnostic tools and a mindset that says, okay, where is the business starting? Where is it trying to go? And therefore, what do I need to do as a marketing leader to build a structure and a team? What skills do we need in-house? What are we going to buy in from agencies? And what do we just stop doing because it no longer works?
A typical for you, Graham, I thought I was asking you, and you could say, oh, it depends, but you just give me quite a complex, nuanced, well thought through answer. So, but brilliant as ever. Great, thanks so much for your time. It's really great to see you.
Pleasure. Good to see you again.
I'm here with Winn from Mitie, and we're at the Roundtable talking about future marketing teams. Maria, some great stuff from in that session. You were talking about the fact you guys at Mitie won Marketing Team of the Year, and there's lots of stuff you've been doing to kind of build team culture, which is a challenging thing, right? When everyone's working remotely and all that kind of stuff. Tell us a bit more about that.
It's something we've really focused on to try to unlock a sense of collaboration, team spirit, and we put together what we call the Campfire Collective, which is a self-run initiative that the team run themselves. So not run by me, I'm the sponsor of it, but it's run by the team, for the team. And it's got 4 different strands. There's a learning and development strand where the team are looking at what is it we want to know about. There's a volunteering, so where do we want to have impact and do sort of work outside of the marketing that we do day to day. And then the big one that's been the big win is we've got a whole strand around creativity and innovation. This is the one that I think is having the biggest impact in the team, because the team absolutely love these sessions where it's kind of no holds barred discussion around, let's look at some creative work that's completely outside of our category.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at what British Airways are doing,
Yeah.
or another company, a drinks company. What inspiration do we take from this? How are they addressing their audience? And recently, we asked our team to all come together, all 35 of them, to comment on a new customer experience centre we're building. And the ideas that came out were phenomenal. So we're really looking at harnessing creativity and giving the team the space and time to bring their innovation.
And that's great. So ultimately, the heart of it. So it's so many skills marketing to have, but creativity is the heart of it. And so be able to focus on that and make time for that sounds like a wonderful initiative.
It's something that they think people really want to do, and perhaps in the day-to-day work perhaps don't have a lot of time, or they feel that the agency is the creative ones. So actually having that time in-house is really important. It's not just we don't outsource creativity, it's for everybody, our in-house team and our agency partners as well.
Great, thanks for sharing that, Maria.
Good to see you, Joel.
So here's Shane, who's moderating, sharing ably, brilliantly as always, this roundtable today on future shape of the marketing team. Loads of great perspectives today, weren't there? Loads of fantastic marketers.
Absolutely masses of amazing outputs and thoughts around the table. I love just getting together and sharing the wisdom of crowds.
There were lots of great takeouts. Any that stand out for you?
I think the one that really stood out for me is that we all know that we're all transforming our business for a different world today, and that actually no one model will work for all. There's not one size fits all. We've got to work out new operating models, new ways of working, new skills. There's a lot to do, and we all need to do it fast.
And as I think we both said just now, it's tough for CMOs, isn't it, right? They're having a hard time. They're getting it from every angle, aren't they? And the operating model is probably the biggest nut they've got to crack. Talking to the CMO being commercial marketer is one thing, but then, okay, what does that look like from an operating model perspective? It's not easy for them, is it?
It's not easy, and I think what's really interesting is how much time you spend on that. And I think that's something, there's a bit of a realisation today that actually leaders need to give themselves permission to really spend time on these really tough issues and talk to others who've been there and got it.
I don't think there's anything that's quite as many fluid options as there are right now in terms of how you build that skills up in terms of onshore, offshore, hybrid, remote, agency, in-house. You know, it's a real, as Roland says, it's a Rubik's cube, isn't it?
And that's why it's so fantastic that today's session was held by Kindred, because they actually know all of these models inside out and we're able to share some of that expertise, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about the strengths and weaknesses of all of those options.
Right, likewise. Great to see you, Shane.
Thanks.
So I'm here with Roland from Hello Kindred. This is your roundtable today about future of the marketing team. Fascinating conversation. It seems like it's never been more complex for CMOs to understand the right operating model for them. There's so many choices available to them. Would you agree with it?
Absolutely, Joel. So it's such an interesting time. And so what we're seeing is this decision Rubik's cube for CMOs. And so the questions around transforming the operating model, how to deliver to their stakeholders and create value in the resource constrained era, where to access the right talent, what are the talent strategies that are going to support the effective implementation and execution of that operating model and that value to stakeholders. And then this big question mark in the role of AI, and how do we create brands that truly embody what it is to be human, whether it's B2C or B2B, but with AI being a number one topic in the room.
I mean, if all of those things around challenges of the kind of resources in a constrained structure where marketing perhaps is under sort of threat would be bad enough. You add AI into the mix. It's a perfect storm, isn't it?
What's created, I think, just an unprecedented time. So I think CMOs now globally are looking at the set of variables in front of them, and with little certainty on what works for the business and what will be truly effective. So it's really about them coming together. I think today was about them coming together in a community where they have the ability to deal with the complexity, because what we're certain about it is that it is now uncertain, and how marketers and CMOs are going to build their teams effectively deliver to their value, as I mentioned, and then also create the right resourcing and talent strategies is a big question. And everyone is going through, I think, a perpetual state of exploration, understanding what's right for their business, what's right for their customers, what's right for their market. There's no one single solution.
No single solution, also a degree of flexibility and pragmatism and dynamism in that seems quite really important right now.
So the big theme, that we're picking up not only today here in London, but as I move around and speak to our clients in the US as well, is I need to create a model that is adaptive, because we're going through a period of time where, from a disruption perspective, we're at an all-time maximum. The disruption indexes are the highest they've ever been. So it's how do I do this? How do I build this? How do I create something that is efficient and effective and can deliver that value? But I need to keep this agile. I need to keep this flexible. I can't overcommit in any one direction, because I'm going through a period of volatility and disruption. It is uncertain. My certainty is 3 months, 1 quarter, every 6 months. And how do I build this in an agile way? And how do I partner with the right partners internally and externally to build that agile and flexible approach? And how do I consider my talent strategies and my resourcing so I'm getting the right skills? I'm getting the right skills in the right market, the right time zone, building talent density. At the same time, I'm keeping myself agile and flexible so I can respond to the next business requirement, to the next trend, which may be around the corner or be in my blind spot.
Absolutely, and that's the nature of where we are right now. Roland, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Joel. That was really terrific.